because of the normal lifespan of cells, because of the exposure to contaminants in the surrounding environment. So this happens to cells on a daily basis. But fortunately, we've got our stem cells, whose job it is to repair dead cells and to replace dead cells with new cells. Okay. So that's what stem cells do.
That's in us already, is it?
Sorry?
That's in us already, the stem cells?
It is in all living things.
Okay.
Bayangkan kalau tak ada stem cell, for example, your stem cells for your blood is in your bone marrow. So if someone has a medical condition, for example, leukemia, that affects the production of normal white blood cells and red blood cells, they need a transfer of bone marrow from a donor. So your stem cells rosak, you ambil kilang orang lain lah. So that's how it works. So stem cells are not just for the blood, it is prevalent throughout your body, your systems. So that's what stem cells do. Now imagine kalau stem cells you ada masalah, it is not functioning normally because of the effect of contaminants from the environment and so on and so forth, pollutants. These cells yang biasanya tetap akan rosak, tak akan mati. But imagine what would happen kalau lama kelamaan your stem cells ni tak boleh function well, so the replacement, the repair process cannot go as per normal. So that organ ends up with probably more sick cells than functioning cells. Macam mana dia nak buat kerja?
So the health deteriorate lah.
Definitely, yeah. So kalau organ, mana-mana organ, we're not just talking about the pancreas, any organ, if it doesn't have enough healthy functioning cells, it can't work.
Yes.
So the function deteriorates, sooner rather than later you become sick as a result of that. So what we want to do here is we want to restore or maintain the activity of the body's stem cells. That's what we want to do. So if we can find a way to do that, then we can ensure that this body's mechanic, for want of a better word, dia boleh keep on doing its work. So as long as it can do its work, then it stands to reason that it can help alleviate a lot of health problems. That's it.
So there's hope for me, yeah?
There's hope for everyone. We have
but
given...
But if it's right now, my pancreas should be having problems, that's why I'm having this diabetes, right?
I don't know, I can't say for sure.
So
there are a lot of factors that come into play, not just the pancreas.
So kalau let's say the pancreas is damaged, for example, will it be able to cure the pancreas back to its normal?
We don't know. We can ikhtiar, Tuhan yang menentukan. Now I'm very careful because these are the types of questions that I get a lot.
Yes.
Boleh tak kalau saya makan suplemen ni, boleh tak saya bayar? I don't know.
They all expect miracles.
I don't know. we all expect miracles lah, especially when we're sick. We want to get, we are desperate to get well again. So it is normal to ask these types of questions, but we human beings, we don't know. Now, it may work on some people, it has worked on some people, but it hasn't worked on some other people.
Yes.
So to say that it has worked on everyone that has used a supplement would be lying.
Correct.
It's not true. We don't know, but we advise people to try because we've seen people who have become better. We say, why don't you try? Manalah tahu dengan rezeki you, Allah bagikan pemulihan kan? That's what we are all about. We're not about guaranteeing people get better because we don't know.
The product itself too, how does it sort of help you to, improve your cells and all that? I know there's B17 in there.
Okay.
My friends are taking this B17
okay.
in capsule form,
Right.
the apricot seed.
Okay. Basically, the core ingredient, like I said, is designed to stimulate and restore the function of the body's stem cells. That is the core ingredient, and this core ingredient actually comes from the stem cells of the Swiss apple. So we extract we extract the ingredient from the Swiss apple stem cell. We use that to stimulate production, to stimulate the function of our body stem cells. Then that body stem cells will go around doing its repair work as per normal. Now B17 is something different. Now Sari Agegard, our main product, has got a lot of things, isn't it? It's got strawberry extract, it's got kiwi fruit, it's got a lot of things. But yes, B17 is one of them. Now, how does B17 work? B17 is present in a lot of vegetables and fruits. but somehow people associate B17 only with apricot seeds.
Yes.
Macam orang kata macam, oh vitamin C daripada oren Habis buah lain tak ada vitamin C ke? Kan? That's a big misconception. Oh B17 apricot seed, B7 buah lain tak ada sayur tak ada itu banyak orang salah faham. So B17 is present, is available in a lot of fruits and vegetables. You know, in years gone by, the cancer incidence and prevalence was not like it is today.
Meaning?
Ada orang kena kanser zaman dulu tapi taklah ramai macam sekarang.
Yes.
Right? Now it's like everywhere. Ramai orang kena. Dulu tak ramai orang kena. Dulu our food comprises of fresh fruits and vegetables, largely uncontaminated with pollutants. Masa tu orang tak guna sangat pesticide, chemical dan sebagainya. So people were eating more fruits and vegetables and they were getting B17. And B17 masa tu, kalau kita tengok correlation between intake of fruits and vegetables and cancer punya incident prevalence, masyarakat kita banyak makan sayur dan buah-buahan and the cancer incidence was very low. Sekarang, we eat lot less fruits and vegetables. Kalaupun kita makan sayur dengan buah, kita makan yang dah contaminated. So you can see the correlation with the cancer incidence in the rate. So a lot of scientists have studied this and they have concluded that cancer ni sebenarnya ada it's because of nutritional deficiency. Satu, because of pollution. We are exposed to air pollution, water pollution semua, and this pollution dia ada apa?
I'm so sorry, let me get this.
I'll just check kalau saya dah silent kat saya punya handphone.
Yeah.
Lupa juga.
I have to do that.
Dah. So this B17, when you take enough of B17, walaupun you are exposed to carcinogens from the environment, apparently cancer incidence was very low. Sekarang you eat less of it, cancer incidence goes up. There's a correlation. So ada scientist kata, they've studied this. Dia kata possibly sebab badan kita ni kurang B17 lah. So nowadays pollution bertambah, so patutnya you need more and more of this wonderful stuff to fight, to reduce the risk of cancer. Tetapi lagi tinggi pollution, masa itulah rendah intake of B17. Kurang sayur, kurang buah dan sebagainya. So what do you expect? Cancer goes through the roof, which is what we're seeing now. So what we're saying to people is that you should increase your intake of B17. And it's not just from apricot seeds, it's from a lot of things.
Especially bikayu and all that.
Dalam kita punya suplemen, saya letak 3 sumber. The top 3, the best sources of B17, apricot seed is one of them. Number 2 is grape seeds. Number 3 is from prunes. So kita ada 3 sumber B17. And all these 3 fruits come from the same major group of plants. So we have 3 sources of B17. Mainly, kalau you tak kena cancer lagi, you want to take it to prevent. Kalau you dah kena cancer, you might want to take it as a means of, addressing the condition. So we let people decide what they want to do. But basically that's it lah. So you have the stem cell extract from the Swiss apple untuk hidupkan balik you punya fungsi stem cell badan. And then you have the B17 to help protect against cancer, because B17 is not like chemotherapy or radiotherapy. The lovely thing about B17 itulah, kita ni kadang-kadang kita ingat kita lagi pandai daripada Tuhan. Bila kita doctors prescribe chemotherapy dan sebagainya. Chemotherapy, radiotherapy, dia kill cancer cells, tapi dia bunuh juga sel yang sihat. Everyone knows that. Tapi B17 yang Tuhan jadikan secara semula jadi ni, dia selectively kills off only cancer cells. How wonderful is that?
Smarter.
Very smart. So that's why now we're advising people to go back, go back to basics, go back to nature dan sebagainya. So basically that's it. Dah ada banyak lagi lah bahan-bahan. Those two are the mainstay of kita punya ingredient. Now, the other thing about our supplement is this. Now, when you take supplements, and supplements are not cheap nowadays. It's not cheap. Never mind lah GST apa semua, tapi even without GST pun it's not cheap. But how do supplements work? Supplements, dia for it to work well, enough of it needs to be absorbed into your bloodstream, into your body lah. But there's a problem. Bila you ambil normal supplements, absorption is usually very low, very poor. Why? Because dalam perut kita contains all the junk that is contained in our food.
It's preventing it from.
So correct. So makanan kita hari ni, you think about it, chemicals, preservatives, colouring, flavouring, pesticide residue. So all of this is constantly inside your tummy. Bila benda baik masuk, benda jahat ni ada, it reduces absorption of benda baik ni. So people have been trying to get around this absorption issue for many decades right now. One of the ways in which people tried to make absorption higher, because the more you absorb, the better lah kan. You want to absorb as much as possible of the good stuff for it to work. So how do you increase absorption? One way people tried before is trying to make the size of the molecule smaller. So people talk about nanotechnology, making it smaller kan. But that doesn't work. So you don't hear about nanotechnology nowadays. Tiba-tiba mana pergi dulu macam nano tu, nano ni dah senyap kan. Why doesn't it work? Because the smaller you make the molecule, the easier it is for the small molecules to be attacked by all the bad stuff inside your tummy. So it doesn't aid absorption. So now people don't talk about nanotechnology anymore. So we tried to find a way macam mana to create a supplement yang badan boleh absorb banyak. To cut a long story short, our bodies, our cells have got this natural affinity for oxygen molecules, right? The air that we're breathing in, they contain about 20% oxygen molecules, oxygen gas. Tapi the rest of it, majority nitrogen, right? But cell you tahu pula, pandai pula, dia tarik oxygen je. So that shows to us that our cells have got this natural attraction for oxygen molecules. So what we did was, we took 3 oxygen atoms, which is called ozone, we combine it with our supplement molecule. Now, bila sel kita nampak this supplement molecule covered with this oxygen ni, ozone ni, dia akan tarik, tapi it draws with it the supplement molecule. So in that way, we've come up with a way to increase absorption rate for our supplements. The only one in the world with this technology, and it's Malaysian product.
And it's already available.
We're already selling it overseas, not just in Malaysia. Kita dah ada distributors in China, Hong Kong, Macau, Japan, very soon India, tak lama lagi Thailand.
Why not in Malaysia?
Malaysia dah banyak lah. Malaysia dah banyak lah. Malaysia dah dulu. Then it goes overseas. So Singapore especially, Singapore is not an easy country to get approval to sell supplements. They're very particular. It's taking off in Singapore. Banyak dah orang Singapore pakai.
About the toxicity, doctor?
Sorry?
Toxicity yang check.
The other thing, thanks for reminding me, we also want to make sure that our supplement is safe for consumption. So rather than send to normal laboratories, what we did was, we've done something that I don't think any other supplement company has done. We've sent our product to be sampled and tested by the National Poison Center. Kalau you tanyalah mana-mana supplement company, you boleh kira berapa supplement company actually hantar to National Poison Center, because you know the National Poison Center in USM Penang, that is our doping center. So macam kalau atlet ahli sukan dia syaki ambil dadah ke any banned substance, they send their samples there. They don't send it to a normal laboratory tau, because there you have very sensitive machines that can detect kalau ada racun ke dadah berbahaya. They send it there, Pusat Racun Negara, disahkan selamat. So we want to come up with the supplement yang kita tak nak orang rasa was-was tau. Selamat ke, okey ke, tak ke.
So what is this supplement called that you have?
Kita ada 5 supplement, but the main supplement yang I was telling about B17 semua tu, nama dia Sari Agegard, comes in the red black box.
The one that Jerry is taking.
And Jerry, I didn't know that Jerry has been taking that.
For
you know,
2 years.
I didn't know that. It was only later when I met him that he told me, you know, he has the chronic problem with the joints and he was feeling better, kan?
Have to be operated, both knees.
Yes. So we were pleasantly surprised. We are constantly surprised, almost on a daily basis lah, by the testimonials that we get. Some of them, if I had not heard it from the person, him or herself, I would not have believed it. For example,
Kidney, semua.
something kidney problems. Yang still is sticking in my mind right now is a lady yang kena stroke, 2.5 years of stroke. She's in Terengganu, and so because as a result of her stroke, tangan dia ialah biasalah clench, tak boleh buka kan. She tried Sari Agegard. Ini semua dengan izin Allah lah.
Yes.
Believe it or not, I heard from the patient herself, after 20 minutes tangan dia boleh buka. She was crying, and leader yang bagi tu was crying 20 minutes. So
One sachet.
half a sachet kot. Dia nak test je, dia nak tahu rasa je.
Oh.
Dia nak tahu rasa apa. Orang cerita bagus. Okay lah, I'm convinced it's good, but what does it taste like? Pahit ke apa ke kan? So our leader baca setengah sachet, nak pergi dia rasa. So when she did, she said it was pleasant tasting, it doesn't taste like ubat dan sebagainya kan. Tapi dengan izin Allah, 20 minutes tangan dah buka. We had a case of someone yang legally blind in Langkawi. After 3 months using a product, he could distinguish light and dark, and subsequently dah boleh baca surat khabar. The doctors could not believe it because they said his condition was permanent. Macam ni lah, I kalau cerita ni, orang kata menipu lah pula kan. But I believe all of this is because kita buat benda ni dengan niat yang betul. Kita jangan tipu orang. Kita jangan kata just because nak jual produk, kita kata okay, this one I guarantee you ambil ni boleh baik semua, and so far orang yang ambil ni semuanya baik. That would be lying to people. Pada saya benda tu tak berkat. So be realistic with people. Kita kata ini ikhtiar. How no matter how good lah the teknologi, ini ikhtiar. Tuhan yang menyembuhkan. So sebelum you ikhtiar, whatever it is, it could be supplement, it could be whatever. 3 perkara: Bismillah, selawat, doa for Muslims. Itu je. So when you do something dengan niat yang betul, when you do something dengan cara yang betul, I believe keberkatan Allah tu yang menyembuhkan. Tapi kalau you buat benda, you just nak jual produk, you bagi cerita orang benda yang tak betul dan sebagainya, tidak ada keberkatan. Bila tidak ada keberkatan, tak ada pemulihan. So, tapi kita kena realistik dengan people. Jangan cakap semua orang boleh, tidak. There have been people yang boleh, ada juga yang mungkin Allah belum izinkan boleh. But because we've seen people yang dah boleh ni, why don't you try? No harm in try. If you want to try.
It could be your penama also.
It could be, we don't know. If it's not this, then keep on searching. It could be something else.
At least you try lah.
Exactly. Itu saja. So we're very upfront, we're very realistic. Kita tak nak macam cerita benda-benda just to make people, to force people to buy the product. No. People like you come here on a weekly basis because they want to know more about the product. Whether or not they decide to buy is their decision. It's not ours to say whether you should buy, you should use. No. You want information, we'll give you information, you decide.
Doctor, just like you met my friend tu kan, Jeffrey tu. Doktor bagi 3 days. 3 days.
Dia ada cancer.
Liver cancer.
You went to see him then?
He, on the day of his discharge from hospital.
You will determine the dosage for, if let's say macam in my case, I don't have cancer and all that. It will be a different dosage.
Okay. This is where it gets very simple. Now, kita jumpa orang, basically they will fall into one of 3 categories. Category number 1, orang yang sihat. Tak ada any medical problems, alhamdulillah dia sihat walafiat. Should they take supplements?
Yes.
They decide. But kalau you tanya saya, the best time to look after yourselves, to maintain it, is before you get sick.
Correct.
So if they see this as a good way to prevent getting sick, as a way to maintain the health of their cells, then they take 1 sachet every night.
1 sachet every night.
Sari Agegard.